What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new Redbubble passive income video. Today we're going to be talking about how to spy on competing Redbubble stores. So, you guys are familiar maybe with this account, I don't know. I always get likes from this account on other accounts, on other stores, on other shops, and I actually happens to me very frequently. The username is called Marie Chrism, I think, or I don't even know what that word is, but it's spelled Maricrism, and they have where she has 7,437 designs. Now I know for a fact it's not her clicking like or favorite on all of my designs across all of my accounts, because I do see her profile come up very, very often, and she always likes my posts, which is very interesting. But not also just on one of my stores, not the one that I have public, but all my stores, even way before I started doing these YouTube videos about Redbubble. So if you want to quote unquote spy in a store, okay, you can actually see what's best selling. And Redbubble has created these features for consumers, so people who want to buy. And a lot of times when a store has this many designs, 7,437 designs, it's unrealistic for somebody to go into their into the store and select like the next page 700 something times. So essentially what you could do is you can just scroll all the way up and you select this Explore Designs button. I already selected it here. Or did I select it? I'm not even sure. Well, let's go ahead and select it right now. And if we just go ahead and click on it, right, all the designs are loading. And we have here the newest. We have here the best selling. So I can click here on the best selling, and it will show me. And just for curiosity purposes, you guys can go over here also in the shop for shop products, and you have a few other targets here: most relevant, trending, newest, best selling. But for the sake of it, let's go here and select best selling, and you could see here that it will show from left to right what the best selling is. So here, this is her best selling product out of all products. So Good Days SZA. Like I'm really not sure what that is. I've never seen that before, but I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna do some market research. And this is what I recommend you guys to do if you have a competitor or something like that. You want to see what's doing the best for them. You just click on it and you paste it. Right, Good Day SZA, and let's see if that's something that people search for. And I guess it is. It's a keyword. Now, something I want you guys to pay attention to is the amount of results that show up, the competitors that create designs, and the keywords that they use. So if I just click on this, right, you could see here, based on what I'm searching, by the way, based on what I'm searching, that her design is not here. I mean, I can't find it unless it's somewhere down on the first page. There it is. It's on the first page, on the page here below. So she's on the first page. She's at the bottom. Okay. Well, not at the bottom. I guess you would say halfway, right? So that's her best selling product. Now, if we just click on the top ones here, I want to see if they're using the same tag. We can look at the tags. And if you guys need a whole entire guide on tagging, you go to autopilotpassiveincome.com and click on this Redbubble course. I created a course just for it, and I'm constantly adding new content to it every day. And basically, I'm just making the course a perfect course. It's all about SEO for Google, for Redbubble, and SEO for the Redbubble algorithm. So for the Google algorithm and the Redbubble algorithm, how to do your research for your keywords, how to set up your tagging properly. The course is right here. You go to autopilotpassiveincome.com, click on the Redbubble button, Redbubble course, and you can click here to sign up. And over here, you have account login. It is a premium course, obviously. The price will go up in the future. It's $35.99 right now. I'm just keeping it a little bit cheaper for the people who are first adopters, for the people that first join in, and you join in via members area. So whenever I add content as a member, you can go back and watch some more. But that's if you need some help with the tagging and the SEO and things like that. But anyways, you could see here, there's a ton of different designs here. And you could see, if you go to the shop products here, it will show from, most relevant, trending, newest, and best selling. I always click on best selling because it interests me where certain accounts rank and why they rank. And I actually did a deep dive on this, and you'll see this in the course. But I did a deep dive on this in the course, and I kind of showed, if you want to rank for Redbubble, what you want to do. If you want to rank for Google, what you want to do, what you want to keep in mind. And you could see here with these keywords is I like to, analyze stores. I'm very analytical in that kind of way. And I look at their tags, right? I look at the tags and I look at what kind of words that they include, and then I see how they compete to the number 1 or the number 2 people. So this is the number 1 selling product in that area, and it's at the top. And if we look here, see how the tags differ. And something that I would say is, as a free tip here for tagging, for Redbubble, something you want to do is you want to take a look at the way you're tagging, and especially if you're on the first page, or even on the second page, you want to look at the way you're tagging your products and look at the way your competitors are tagging to get above you. And you want to figure out, okay, what is it going to take? What extra tags maybe that I'm potentially missing or I'm not adding to notify to Redbubble I deserve to get higher. Now, I doubt anything past the first, or that's not actually true, because I've gotten sales before with my listings on the second page. I doubt anything past the second or third page will get any sales, but you never know. Probably, they get sales a little bit here and there. And when I say sales, I'm talking about the second page and the third page of Redbubble. I've had designs that were on the second and third page that did get sales, but they were a little bit more rare. I think one of the things that tagging does help is if you do tag properly, right? If this is, let's say, a number 1 product, you can, as a competitor, if you're very similar to that product, you can show up here in the similar design section, which unfortunately Redbubble doesn't tell us when we sell a product how many sales we get from this section here, but it would be great to kind of learn. And that's what I'm actually mastering right now, is that sometimes the sales history, the algorithm is too strong for you to compete for the first position on the first page. So a good way to do that is just to liken your design to theirs and make Redbubble think that it's a very similar design, and that they will, based on tagging, based on keywords and things like that, and you'll show up in the similar section, which is a great feature to have. And you'll see here that it's not all the same store. So for example, this store here is from Signed by Katie, right? And you could see here, if we scroll down to similar designs, yes, her first design here, but then you have Magic Arrows, then you have Mesadai 1, I can't read the name, sorry, Virginia Nash, Isabel Watchcorn. And the reason why you see more than one of these of the same store, right? You could see the same store multiple times, is it's because of the way that it's tagging. That's what I'm starting to learn. It's not too much. Well, it could be too much, a little bit about the title, but typically it's not. Google is what really utilizes the title the most, and I've said this once again in the course. There's a certain strategy behind that. I don't want to expose too much information from the course, but if you really are trying to get ranked on Redbubble, you should really pay more attention to your tags than your title. The title is really made for Google, or it helps for Google the most. Of course, it helps with, consumers searching a product and trying to see your product and sift through that way. But really, that's what the tags are for. That's why you hear a lot of people do spam tagging, where they'll tag for a whole bunch of short tail keywords. Like, for example, if it was a product like this, they'll tag the color green, light green. That's essentially tag spamming. I mean, it does work. It does work out really well, but you got to think about who's gonna buy products like this. But you could see here, this person didn't really tag spam. I mean, they did a good job here. They didn't just add a bunch of tags that are irrelevant. Now, I've heard some experts here on YouTube say, that it is a good idea to add a whole bunch of tags and use up as many tags as possible. I would say, don't tag spam, meaning don't just add a bunch of tags that necessarily don't relate, because every single time that somebody sees your product and doesn't click, that's a hurt for you. It hurts your account in terms of ranking. And when I say it hurts your account, I'm not talking about you're going to get banned or you're going to get blocked or removed from the platform. It just hurts your account in terms of success, right? If you want to maintain a position on the top page of Redbubble, there's a lot of things that matter to that. One of the things that matter is your sales. Another one is your click-through rate, your impressions, things like that. Those your conversion rate on your impressions, which is essentially the click-through rate, things like that. So, a lot of things do matter, but you don't want to tag spam, because if you do end up being seen on other, let's say, less desirable tags, your whole entire listing overall would be less valuable in Redbubble's eyes, and there'll be another product to rank above you. So you just keep in mind of that. So, for example, if you're going to be tagging for, let's say, a product like this, right? Always sunny inside. I don't know if I would tag, like, for example, butterflies for this, because if somebody searches for butterflies, you got to think from a consumer perspective. They're looking for probably just a butterfly on a screen, on an image, right? Or a collection of butterfly images. They're not really looking for, and you can see here that they did that, butterflies, but you don't see this specific design on the first page. It's similar, but it's not the same. But once again, that's something I probably wouldn't do in this situation, is add butterflies. Like I said, you got to think from a consumer's perspective. I click on butterflies here, right? All I see is butterflies. I don't, there's no interest in seeing, for example, a quote about butterflies or something like that. Now, some people do rank. I mean, that's very interesting, and I do want to wonder why. Maybe they do get sales from their other tags, and so that makes them more valuable in Redbubble's eyes. But you could see here there's a lot of tags on this one, but these are just my inner thoughts when I kind of share these ideas. Let me know what you guys think. But generally, the best way to gain some information and some research is just to do it, and you got to look at your competitor stores, maybe do some researching on Redbubble, search a certain topic, and look at their best-selling designs. Look at what sells for that specific store. Think about why. Think about, like, the for example, I might sometimes click on something like this and take a look at it, and I might search for something similar. So here it says blue abstract painting, and I might click on the tags here, or I might want to see the tags. So let's say I click on this here, and I might want to see the tags and think of, like, okay, this is like the third best-selling product on the store. Why is it? What is it that makes it so different? You can see here, there's a bunch of short tail keywords here. There's only one longer tail keyword, but a bunch of short tail keywords. And I'm sure that this person somehow ranks for them because it's the third best-selling product that they have. Or maybe they'll just show up in the similar section with a design like this, because if they can't compete and get on the first page, then their only chance of selling is really getting on the similar section. Unless somebody's specifically looking for their design and goes out of their way to buy it. But you can see here we're on the first page, and I don't see the design anywhere of one of the tags. So this is just some ideas, some tag studying. I think it's important if you sell on Redbubble to study different tags and have different ideas about, or different convictions and beliefs about how to get to the top. And at the end of the day, sometimes you could have a weak design, a not interesting one, not attractive one, but you could be on the first page and you can get the most sales. Sometimes it's not about how attractive your design is. Sometimes it's about where does Redbubble place you. And I think it's completely controllable where you end up based on your tags, based on your sales history, based on a click-through, all these kind of things. So keep that in mind. And I think to prove that, I notice this very frequently, is that when I get one sale, a few hours later I'll get another and another and another. Because what's happening is once I get a sale, Redbubble's pushing me upward into the ranking. And they're pushing me upward and upward. So similar to Amazon's BSR ranking, but slightly different. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out. Bye.